So here I am on the road. Promised more videos, kind of lagging, maybe procrastinating a little bit. But aside from the point, I've been keeping a good eye on a lot of crazy things going on here and abroad. Um, Buffalo dying, fish washing up on shores, birds dropping out of the sky yet again, sharks, great whites, warm water sharks showing up in the northern Atlantic region. Up where I live, it's kind of unusual to see this, almost a 20-foot fish swimming 5 feet off the shore. Pretty interesting. So, one of the things that I wanted to bring to light, actually, over many other things, is that aside from all the crazy things going on that I will touch on, probably not in this video, but next couple of videos, the one thing I wanted to talk about now would be about 2 nights ago at Walmart, which is down the street from where I am now. I thought there was something big going on because there was like 3 or 4 cop cars, cruisers or whatever. And they were just out in the parking lot and they were bugging this kid. And I said, gee, I know this kid. I've seen him before. They call him the guy in the red hat. The kid in the red hat. So I says to the cop guy, I say, what's going on here? The kid's a little bit crazy, but what did he do? I mean, couldn't have been that bad. Evidently, someone called the cops on him. This is how disturbing this is getting. It's turning into Nazi Germany when you're literally reporting your neighbor for everything. He was overheard in Walmart talking about chemtrails. If you do not know about chemtrails, please look them up on Google or YouTube. You will find what you see very fascinating. Contrail is basically an exhaust stream behind an airplane, primarily a jet, that is normal and disappears. Chemtrail, that is the long-lived smoke patterns behind the plane that don't go away for quite some time. A lot of times you see these chemtrails in grid patterns, and the government actually finally admitted, the Pentagon did, that they added all these aluminum dioxides and some type of heavy metal. It's not good for your central nervous system. And for some reason, they're dumping these in patterns in the sky. I've noticed it. If anybody looks up, they'll notice it almost on a daily basis. And if you look at the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail, there's a clear difference. Now, this kid simply just brought this up to someone. Someone overheard it, and then ended up someone asked another question about it, and he went into it. He was passionate about it. Keep in mind, the kid is mentally unstable. He does have something similar to Tourette's syndrome, and I believe he's autistic, which is kind of bizarre because according to people who knew him from school, he didn't develop this problem until later on in life. Regardless of what he is, basically I overheard the police yelling at him, which I thought was bizarre. I mean, how do you yell at mentally handicapped people because they are exercising their right to freedom of speech? And then you show up with 4 cops to take care of a kid that's 145 pounds soaking wet. So anyways, long story short, he ends up getting arrested by the Epping police. Surprise, surprise. This New Hampshire town that I live in. These cops up here, I have a lot of respect for police officers. I love the town next to us. The police officers, every one of them are great over there in Brentwood. There's quite a few good ones in Raymond too. But we have a couple decent ones in town, like the new chief, Wallace. He's an alright guy. McFadden, yada yada yada. Anyhow, these people showed up, 4 cops deep, to arrest a 140-pound mentally disabled kid for exercising his freedom of speech because someone called from Walmart because they were scared. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a problem in this country or even in the world when we call 911 because we're scared of hearing the truth? And for those people who say it isn't the truth, chemtrails don't exist, walk outside any given day, a couple times a day. You might not see it right off the bat, but you'll see the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail. Please look it up. These things exist. And to top it off, to boot, the Pentagon says it exists. The kid was simply exercising his freedom of speech right, based on our constitutional rights, which evidently got the police called on him in the first place because someone was scared of hearing the truth, which is also another big problem we have in this country. And then the fact that they showed up and they were yelling at him, because he was mentally disabled and all, for exercising his rights. Not only that, they were telling him he shouldn't talk ill of the government. These are police officers. Where are these people from? Have they seen what the government's got us into? They spend our money, give it to banks, the banks screw us over, and then they turn around and they ask us for more money to bail the banks out while we sink. And what do we got? Mounting debt. They try to blame Obama. It's not entirely his fault. He doesn't make things much better, unfortunately, but he's not making it too much worse. It was already heading down that path to begin with. This is ridiculous. It needs to come to an end. And it's not saying much for local police when they're turning into Nazis. I mean, this is ridiculous. And I'm not trying to speak illy of all police, because I have friends that are police officers. I was a firefighter. Here's the deal. People need to wake up and become informed, because if we don't, we're in trouble. And other topics I want to talk about, cognitive dissonance goes hand in hand with what I'm talking about, and you can look that up if you'd like before my next videos. This is just outrageous. I mean, if people don't see martial law coming, I don't know what to tell you. When people can just call the police because they're scared of someone stating facts, police show up and actually arrest a person that's mentally ill because they exercised their amendment right and stated facts. And the biggest reason was, I guess, when I heard them yelling at him, like I said, they said you shouldn't talk that way of the government. You have no proof. You shouldn't make up lies. It's not good. You shouldn't scare people. Since when was telling the truth scaring anybody? And sometimes, I mean, maybe, just maybe, the truth should hurt a little bit. Maybe that's the only way to wake people up. And what is it saying for our society when a mentally ill person has more common sense and knowledge and is more awake and aware of their surroundings than a person with what we call a supposed functional brain? Normal people. What's the definition of normal? It varies from person to person because there really is no set definition. Wake up, people. This is getting bad and it's getting disgusting. I do wish I had my video camera on me, so I could have taken the video or pictures at least and downloaded them to my computer. I will make sure I carry these things on me more often and they're all charged up, because I was PO'd that I didn't have my camera the other night. I wanted video of this. I knew they'd probably, yell at me for it or try and make me get rid of it or something, but I've had run-ins with them before because they've, busted my hump over things that never existed. But that's small town politics and BS. But again, wake up, people. This is Nazism. This is martial law. This is a disgrace that we're trampling all over the Constitution. Totally disrespectful. It's time to wake up and take our country back. You want freedom or do you want tyranny? It's your pick. We're running out of time. So don't waste time. Please wake up, stay informed, and stay tuned for my next videos.